Okay, I've placed another 30,000 parts since my last video, so I'm somewhere around 45,000 parts at this point. And I have noticed that this machine builds up static like crazy. And I think it starts because this machine, the metal chassis, is not earth grounded, and it uses a wall wart, which is grounded, but then that wall wart just comes out to a 2-pin and it's isolated. So this has no earth reference. It's at least above 100 mega ohms. Effectively, there's no earth reference. And so any static we're getting in our system is building up in the system. And in addition, the tape getting stuck on all of these reels where they wind up is also a static issue. And also the plastic trays where we pick the parts up are a huge static issue as well. Now, why is that static important? It's important because these teeny tiny little parts are really attracted to static charge. And that's causing them to fly out of these trays before the head even goes to pick them up. So what have I done to work around this? The first thing that I did is I grounded this enclosure. So I just have a ground plugged through here. This is not a perfect solution, but it's what I have now, and this just goes back to an outlet, and I'm using the ground earth on it. That gives our machine a ground reference. The second thing I've done is I've added this piece of angle iron here, and this is a guard that basically pulls the static charge off of this film. This film builds up static charge. It's a plastic film. And so this is just grounded, and that seems to have mostly resolved my tape getting sucked back up in itself because the tape is no longer attracted to other parts on the machine that are at different potentials. The third thing that I've done is I've added a copper wire here as a guard, and I've just screwed it here, which is earth chassis, and I've also screwed it over to some of the camera bolts, and it's literally just running back here. It's pulling the static charge off of this film, and it keeps your parts from getting sucked up onto the film when they get pulled out here. In the back, I've done the same thing. You can see I have another guard wire in the back there, and not a perfect solution, but it has made a huge improvement in my part pickup, just getting rid of the static in this system. The final thing I wanted to mention is that this head is not well referenced to the chassis potential. And so the first thing you gotta do, whenever you have any kind of gantry that has a harness that goes through it, the first wire always, every time, is ground. And that way your ground comes to your head, and that way your static charge is not discharging through your ball bearings, which pits your ball bearings. So I'm gonna be adding that to this machine, basically adding an earth ground so that the static that's on this head is not causing sparks, I put that in quotes, but static discharges across the ball bearings, which will pit them out, you know, in this here, and then the section under there, it's kind of hiding in the head there. So yeah, rookie mistake 101, as soon as you add an umbilical cord to your gantry, the very first wire is always a ground reference, so that you're not having any static buildup. You know, I'm repeating myself, I guess, but this machine is a static nightmare, and adding these guards has really improved the picking quality here. One thing I was noticing, I just sat here and watched it. I mean, we have another issue that's come up here where this tape is getting stuck, but that's a different issue. This has not fixed this machine by any means, but it has drastically improved my picking capabilities, at least, you know, finding parts. You know, finding that they're in there. I'm actually quite amazed that in the 4 minutes and 20 seconds so far, I haven't seen a part hop out. Of course, it's because we've grounded it, but before we were missing parts all the time because they would come up, we'd pull it, and they would immediately get sucked onto the film. And, you know, we're a dumb head. We just go to position and pick part up. If part's not there, we can't see that it's a millimeter off. So that has really helped a lot here. And you know, Neoden's old machine, the TM240, had a metal carrier, so the whole thing was, you know, steel and spring steel going to the chassis, and so there was no way for charge to build up. Here, charge is just building up everywhere. We have plastic, we have tape here, we have paper there. The plastic here is the worst. So all the capacitors and stuff that are in plastic, those were just static nightmares. But you can see this has greatly reduced that. So again, the three things: one, I grounded the enclosure; two, I put a bar, I mean, this is literally just a piece of angle iron, and I just have it hanging from some coat hanger hooks. Mr. Coat Hanger gave up part of his life and limb to become now Mr. Coat Hanger Carrier here. Mr. Coat Hanger is really the MVP of this catastrophe. So yeah, just an aluminum angle, and I have it grounded again to earth ground. And then again, I just have this copper. I just pulled this out of a cord, and it's just running behind. It's literally just keeping those parts from getting static charge build up and causing them to suck onto that film. So, you know, how do you fix this in an actual production thing and not a prototype? Again, I feel like I'm testing a prototype here. I would think in your 3D prints, which again are SLA, not FDM, that those SLAs would have some kind of detent in them, or some kind of, you know, slight step down, and then have basically a metallic film, you know, that is put on them, and then of course it touches the chassis somehow. You know, you could just put like holes here, you know, anywhere you can get that ground reference to the chassis. The point is to get all of the voltage potentials the same. Oh, we actually missed a part. So here you can see we actually, this 100 picofarad part actually still got sucked up, maybe because this copper is a little bit too far away. But my goodness, that's the first time in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. That's pretty awesome. So it's an improvement. It's certainly going much better. Again, I've placed somewhere around 29,000 parts in the last couple days here. Get a part randomly over there. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching.